Now I'm copying this, and there's nothing really like a certain rule to explain how this is done. Or you can just draw it by the way that how you feel about it. Like here, there's like a certain, like this, for example. And then like some little lines over here, and just a little bit more details. Just so you know, this is the first time I draw a character like this, so I'm kind of a little bit lost myself. And these lines, I kind of drew them from the way that I feel, not from the copied one. So I think it's better just if you're drawing like this kind of stuff to draw them from the way that you feel. So I will do the other side of camera, and I'll be back to show you how to draw the eyes, and let's see where. So as you can tell, I finished both sides, and what's left, you know, I've cleaned it up, and what's left is the eyes, and that's why I kind of did the zooming in on the place where we're going to work with the eyes, because I know there's lots of people who would say, the eyes is like the toughest thing to draw. So let's see where I'm going to go with, and how it will be. So I just have my guidelines here again. Here's the eyes. I'll basically start off with the eyes. They're quite apart from each other. So here we go. Just a little line over here. And there's another one just like this. And the lines are quite actually thick in this picture. Not the eye lines. And so I'm going like step by step, like so. And here's like a nice trick to some of the eyelashes. Some of the I saw some pictures, and then the eyelashes would come like this. Like I normally would draw like 1, 2, 3 from up, but this is like another trick that you can do. Note that I just came up with this right now, and it's not in the picture. It's just different type of ways that you can draw your manga eyes. Okay, so this comes like, doesn't come like a straight line, comes a little bit with an angle, and then with a side like this, and then you have these beautiful big green anime characters' eyes. There's not a lot of places for the whites of the eye. Okay, I hope they did this right. And here's like the eyelashes. They're probably very, very thin in this picture. Here is a little bit of shiny part. And here's another one like this. Now I'm gonna be working with a little bit of eye details or shading techniques for this eye as it's shown in the picture, because it's a little different from what I normally draw. Alright, so it will be like with the same B pencil, and you can see how much we can use one pencil with, and we can use it in different, how should I say this, different effects of shading. Alright, here we go. First of all, the eyes themselves from the side do tend to have like this thick. It's from here, as you can see, the lines are pretty thick. And then you have like the apple of the eye in almost the middle. I just do this like this in light way, and once I feel satisfied with how the apples of the eye is, I'll start to shade it. Yeah, I'm feeling good. This apple of the eye is good, so I feel good about how it looks. Okay, so let's move ahead to the upper half of the eye. The upper half is as dark as the color of the eye, because the apple of the eye isn't exactly black, it's green in this picture, and the degree of the green, which is kind of the darkest part, or the darkest tone, or the darkest green tone in this picture, is the same one, or is the same color of the upper half. I hope this is making sense. Basically, the tone here is like the tone from up here, which is also the tone of the sides of the eye, or from here. I hope this is making any sense. And oh yeah, I forgot to do this little part. So it's quite dark actually. And then you have like two lines like this. Then you have, surprisingly to be, there's no like a middle green, but just a light tone there. So this one's done by colors. I just made it by pencil. I probably would use like a 6B here to tone in, and probably will give you a better idea on how this character looks like. It's already dark, so I was using a B, and this one is a 6B, so you can already tell that it's quite dark. Okay, it's time for me to ink this eye, and I'll be using in the inking process, because I get frequently asked about this question, Uniball, fine line, wire, and fade-proof pigment ink. And I did try this with watercolors. I applied this because before I do watercolors, here's a tip. I do this before I do watercolors, because if I do this after applying watercolors, the pencil or the pen will definitely I don't know, the powdery stuff of the watercolors will get into the pen and it will destroy it. So if you want to ink, so how about, if you want to ink after you've watercolored, you can use a pencil in the inking process. So yeah, before watercolors, use this. After watercolors, if you still want to ink, use like a pencil, black pencil, or black Prismacolor, something that won't really get ruined, because this is like a pigment pen, and I think the stuff, which is the powdery stuff, will get stuck inside. So I did sacrifice the pen because of this. So this is basically my inking pen, and I use 4 different thicknesses. This is what I use the most. I love the 0.5. because it's not too thick, it's not too thin. And definitely using something like not too thick or not too thin. You won't push on your hand when you're like using something like an 0.1. You'll press so much on your hand that it might get hurt. And I did, and I know how it feels to press on your hands and your hand will get hurt. It's a real problem. You know, I want some tips, by the way. I want to give you some tips on how to kind of watch out when you are drawing. Here's tip number 1. Don't draw for too long, because if you do, because I did used to spend in the animation company, I was in like 5 hours of drawing continuously and just pressing on my hand in an crazy way, and it did cause some problems, and it's a problem that doesn't go away. It's if I exhaust my hand too much, this pain will come back, and I have to stop using my hand for like as long as 2 weeks to overcome this little problem. This is like you know, this was like a big problem to me because I had to stop drawing for almost 2 whole weeks. Between 2 weeks and 10 days and 2 weeks. So watch out, do not, you know, draw for very long times. You can still like draw for 5 hours if you like, but take breaks, like draw for an hour or 45 minutes, then take a little break, come back again and take another break. Also, don't try to press a lot on your hands, because in inking you definitely do some pressing on your hands, so that's why I don't like to use something as thin as 0.1. Because if I do that, I'll be pressing so hard on my hand, it'll be a problem. And that's why I do tend to use something like in the middle, 0.5. I don't press on my hand at all, and I only use the 0.1 in small areas, such as like if I did like my characters in very small details, I would use like in these small details the 0.1 or the 0.3. Yeah, so basically you have like now a good idea of the thicknesses that I use. 0.5, 0.1, 0.3, and 0.8 as well. I did ink this character in 0.8 in the eyes because there are tons of details in there, and 0.8 will be kind of too thick to use, so I use the 0.5. So as you can see, this eye tends to have a very insane amount of details going around here. I did ink it with black so you would tell, or you would know how the eye will kind of look like. Okay, I did spend quite a considerable amount of time on this eye. I will do the other one off camera, and yeah, it's basically the same kind of way that I did. So I will do it and then come to tell you or to show you how the character would look with the second eye. So as you can tell, I'm done with the eyes, and what is left basically is the nose and the mouth. This is like the easiest part in the whole drawing. Already, I will erase like these extra guidelines. I just need the mouth and the nose. The nose. So I'm just gonna put like a little dot over here, or like this little line, and just a smiley mouth. And yes, this is like the end of this drawing. Is not exactly the same way you would expect from the picture, but I sure did my best there. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll be back in another video. So see you later, guys. Later.